Hi guys, welcome back to the ehab.healthcare Facebook page, and welcome back to this second talk in my series on the concept of relapse. If I buy a car from Land Rover and I leave the forecourt and I'm all got my arm out the window, it's all nice, I'm playing with the digits and the things and I'm trying to steer, and there's a tap in, I turn straight round and go right back to the dealers. And I promise you, and that's with any car, it's not just Land Rover. If you go for a Ford or whatever it is, any reputable dealer, you go back, they listen, they'll give you a courtesy car, they'll take it back, they'll fix it at no cost. In fact, when you do leave, you have a maintenance plan where every 12 months you need a service, and there's some parts of the car that have broken prematurely, they replace it without cost. If you go to your local store and you buy a box of cornflakes for your breakfast, and then the next morning you open it and there's little creepy crawlies. In South Africa we call them chojos. You open the cornflakes and it's full of chojos. Take it back to the shop, you show them, they're going to take it off you, they're going to take the rest of the cereals off the shelf, contact the supplier, give you your money back, or give you an option to change your product for another one. Okay, you buy a pair of shoes from the shoe shop and you buy them, you try them on, they're nice, they're really okay, they really like them, you pay for them, the lady goes back, she puts the shoes in the box and in the bag, and then you go home and you find that one of the shoes is your size and the other shoe is 3 times smaller. It's an honest mistake, but it's still uncomfortable. You take it back, no questions asked, they change it. If you book into a treatment centre on a 28-day program for chronic addiction and then relapse within a month and you go back, you pay again, mate, because you relapsed. Okay, because not just because you relapsed, it's because you were possibly led to believe that you were going into a rehab. You're not going into a rehab, you're going into a treatment centre. Rehab starts when you leave the treatment centre. Okay, if you've suffered with an addiction for any more than 3 years, you're going to need a minimum of 3 months therapy, counselling, reflection, looking, changing, grieving, crying. 28 days. I say this from bitter experience of working on a 28-day program, in a 28-day program type of clinic, and I hated every minute of it. I hated it. I really didn't like it. I'm really good at what I do. I love what I'm doing. I love watching people's lives change. But I wanted to apologise to them for my employees charging them an arm and a leg for a 28-day program. If you need extended care, well, it's an extended fee, okay? And these clinics, you'll get the best. There's no doubt at all. Some of these clinics have got the best clinicians, all right? But when you relapse, you believe what you're being told, okay? But you believe what you're being told and you behave accordingly. But you can't believe what they didn't tell you, so you can't behave accordingly. And then when you relapse, and a large portion of the 28-day programs, 25 days out of the 28, we say to you, you need to take responsibility for your feelings, attitudes and behaviours. You need to feel consequences of your attitudes. You need to feel consequences of your relapse. But we don't take any consequences when you relapse and come back to us dissatisfied. That's the motivational drive for why the ehab.healthcare is exactly what it says on the box. It's actually an addiction treatment by education and relapse awareness and prevention program. And I'll tell you why you relapse. You relapse because you don't deal with the resentments, the hurt, the confusions, and they make life ahead feel really, really painful. You don't honestly deal with your hurts, your resentments, the injustice of life, the loss, the grief, the pain. You're not going to deal with that in 28 days anyway, okay? But we don't get in touch with it. We don't get instructed about it. Nobody tells us how to deal with it. And so before long, the pain of going forward looks bigger than the pain behind us. As a part of the Valley of Addiction treatment program on the ehab.healthcare website, We educate, liberate, and empower. We educate people in how they get into the valley of addiction. We liberate people to make some decisions that will start to guide them out of. They got to make the decision. We will continue to guide them out of the valley of addiction. And then as we start to leave the valley of addiction, we empower our clients to go forward into recovery. The empowerment program is a list of 12 character defects most common in chemically dependent people. Resentments, jealousy, envy, self-seeking, attention-seeking, lust, greed. It's all there. And what we encourage our participants to do is we will help you to identify those jojos, and then we will help you to identify them one at a time, and we will give you a written exercise and a framework on how to take that particular relationship destroying character defect to a 12-step recovery meeting, maybe online with us. We've got recovery coaches online, but you go to a group of recovering men and women and you share about that particular character defect twice a week, every week for 4 weeks. And you will not be able to talk about that character defect for very long by week 5. Because when we identify self-seeking and we go in, or attention-seeking, we identify attention-seeking and we share about attention-seeking. Attention-seeking loses control of us. We identify the character defects, we expose them, we share them to death. That's who we are. I'm Colin Garnett. This is the ehab.healthcare Facebook page. You're welcome to share this with anybody else you might think might need further guidance. And I would please encourage you to follow the link below. And maybe everybody knows somebody suffering because of substance abuse and or other mental care issues that we find in addiction treatment. Okay? So we look forward to hearing from you. You take it easy, stay clean, and stay hopeful.